What a great day. Hello, I'm Will Kempton, the Director of Caltrans, and thank you for being part of this historic day and for joining us today as we celebrate the completion of a project that represents some of the final work on the state's toll bridge seismic retrofit program. This project represents the most complex construction staging job the department has ever accomplished. We did this work while commuters were using the facility, and I want to thank both Mayor Newsom and Mayor Dellums for the patience of their communities in putting up with all of the construction associated with these projects. Thank you. And while the commuters were using the facility, this work was done right around that mobility. I would like to say it's like changing a tire on a car that's moving 65 miles an hour. The job involved tremendous teamwork and an unprecedented public outreach effort. Governor Schwarzenegger worked closely with key legislators to pass Assembly Bill 144, which gave us both the financial and managerial framework from which we are now seeing success. AB 144 brought Caltrans, the Bay Area Toll Authority, and the California Transportation Commission together to form the Toll Bridge Program Oversight Committee. Behind me, we have Commissioners Gilmetti and Alvarado from the California Transportation Commission and Supervisor Bill Dodd from the Bay Area Toll Authority. We also need to recognize the contractor, Tudor Saliba. Jack Frost from the contractor's office is here. We did this job as a team, and I also want to acknowledge all of the Caltrans workers involved in the work. The West Approach Seismic Retrofit Project is truly a lesson in how we can work together through daunting challenges to successfully serve the people of California. I now have the honor of introducing someone who played a critical role in bringing together all of these agencies to determine the final path to seismic safety. Ladies and gentlemen, the Governor of the State of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, thank you very much, Will, for the nice introduction. And I want to thank you also for the great leadership, being a great leader of Caltrans and doing such extraordinary work. I also want to say thank you to Mayor Newsom and Mayor Dellums for their great support and making sure to push this project along so that it comes in on time. They've been great leaders. We want to thank both of them very much. I also want to thank all the workers that are standing behind us here today, because they're the ones that really made this all become a reality. So let's give them a big hand for the great work that they have done. It's always a great joy to be back in San Francisco, but especially for a special occasion like today, which is a day of celebration. The day we are celebrating a milestone for one of the most crucial and challenging public works projects in California's history. The Bay Bridge that was built in the 1930s is among the most historic, most important, and busiest bridges in the United States. It carries nearly 2 million vehicles every week and billions of dollars of goods every day. The bridge is an economic and transportation colossus, and we are rebuilding it to make seismic changes and to make it seismically safe for generations to come. And let me tell you something. The work that Caltrans has done, along with the contractor Tudor Saliba and the Bay Area Toll Authority and the California Transportation Commission, has been absolutely extraordinary. There are not many projects anywhere in the world that are this complex. The mile-long West Approach that we will open this weekend requires mind-boggling construction and engineering feats. And I could not be prouder, as I said earlier, of our incredible workers who made this phase of the bridge a reality, and not only a reality, but full 7 months ahead of schedule. So we want to thank them again very much for their great work. This is exactly the type of skills and cooperation that the people of California expect and deserve from our government. Everyone here knows how I feel about rebuilding California and about our infrastructure. It wasn't too long ago that when we talked about infrastructure here in California, the people's eyes glazed over. But then the people of California made a commitment of $42 billion of infrastructure bonds to rebuild the state of California. Now everyone understands that the state can prosper and soar economically and operate on all 12 cylinders if we have the bridges in place, if we have the tunnels, the on-ramps, the off-ramps, the highways, public transportation, mass transit, and the ports and so on. We have come a long way in just a few years, but we have much more to do. As I've said before in my State of the State address, we have $500 billion worth of infrastructure that needs to be done here over the next 20 years in California. I'm very happy that California is in the forefront, that we're leading the nation on rebuilding our state and rebuilding our infrastructure. I hope that the federal government will follow, will use us as a great example. I'm a proud governor today because this new bridge is a powerful reminder that the California people always rise to the challenge. Thank you very much. And now I would like to introduce our great mayor, Mayor Newsom. Is first, and then is Mayor Dellums. Okay, Mayor Newsom, ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Newsom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor. I'll briefly just amplify on the governor's comments. First and foremost, Governor, congratulations and thank you for your vision and your leadership and your constancy in terms of your focus and energy around rebuilding California and focusing on the infrastructure, focusing on the unseen, focus on the foundation that makes this state such a vibrant and fundamentally critical state, not only to the future of this country, but an example for the rest of the world. Who would have thought we would be here talking about good news associated with the Bay Bridge? So much has been written about the delays and the costs on the Bay Bridge, but now we have a different story about the costs being controlled, the timeline being resolved with a time frame that now has been shortened by over 7 months. A $429 million project that is going to come in at $429 million. A project that was done without the usual stress and consternation that usually is associated with projects of this type. A project where today you have residents not only celebrating its completion, but making the case, as one did to me downstairs, that they're going to miss some of the construction workers that have become friends over the course of the last few years. And they were sitting there taking photographs of some of those workers behind me. Think about this. Look at where we are. You are in the heart of an urban district. You are literally just a few feet away from a clock tower where a project of this size was constructed, and people are still living there and working there. And they're very proud of the fact that this was done in a responsible and respectful way. I want to thank not only Will Kempton and his incredible team and the incredible job that they did, and all our friends at Labor behind me, and Bobby Alvarado and his team, and Ken, folks at Caltran that were here day in and day out, but also all those city workers, Department of Parking and Traffic. I don't know how many times I had to make those calls to Bon Yi and Jack Fleck and others, and Stuart Sunshine, who was in my office at the time, try to deal with some of the conditions around the area. And they always stepped up, stepped in, and did an incredible job. I want to also thank DPW and Ed Reeskin. How many of those street sweepers we had to send down here 4 or 5 times a day for many, many months. They did an incredible job as well. Our friends at Muni, rerouting the buses, they did a magnificent job. And all the outreach workers that soothed some of the edges and some of the stress, went to all those community meetings and tried to build a relationship between various agencies for a job well done. I'm proud, as the governor is very proud today, to example this effort, and to thank the governor yet again for delivering and producing real results, not rhetoric. I was joking when he walked in, and I'll conclude with this, that guys like Will Kempton, that's the most dangerous job in the world to take. I always wonder why people want to be head at a place like Caltran. That's about a 2-month guaranteed job. You usually scapegoat it and say, yeah, that was great, I'm sorry, and the answer to any problem is I replaced the director. Well, in this case, there's no one to replace, because no one can do a better job. No one has done a better job in years. Will keeps having press conferences where he keeps coming in under budget and doing things well within the time frame that was afforded, and he's making everyone else around the country look bad. So I want to congratulate you as well, Governor, on picking the right people, getting the right team. And I know you got a budget crunch, but maybe we can do some fundraisers and help give Will a celebratory gift or something we can do to recognize the job well done. Congratulations.
Now let's welcome another great leader, Mayor Dellums, please.
Thank you. When you come last in the program, the best thing to do is associate yourself with the remarks of the previous speaker and be brief. I'm going to do both. I associate myself with the remarks of my previous speakers, and I will be very brief. First, I want to thank my good friend, Governor Schwarzenegger, and my good friend, Gavin Newsom, for their generosity, for their friendship, their camaraderie. We've come together on numerous occasions around the issues of economics, around safety, and around infrastructure development. And each time we've done so in an effort to make this region a model city, and for that I am very grateful and very thankful. I want to thank Will Kempton and Secretary Bonner for their significant effort in this regard, and all of our assembled colleagues and labor and other forces and factions that brought us to this moment. Finally, this is when you know you're getting old. At a similar time, many years ago, when the opening of the San Francisco Bay Bridge, I was an infant in the arms of my mother when they charged a nickel for the residents to step up on the bridge, this magnificent engineering structure. So here I am many years later with the new evolution of the San Francisco Bay Bridge that will connect this region together. So at one level, I'm very honored to have the longevity to be here, and finally thank all of you and thank my good friend for bringing us to this moment.
Thank you very much. If there are any questions, please feel free. Yes?
There we are. I'd like, if we may, if Will Kempton can step forward. You, Governor, said this was a miraculous job. Will, can you be specific? What was so amazing about this job, and how did you manage to bring it in 7 months early?
Well, Will, please.
Well, the first answer is that the governor, working with some key legislators, put together a great project oversight team that involves the Bay Area Toll Authority and the California Transportation Commission. That's helped keep this project on track. Second is the great work of all the people that you see here today in literally keeping this project moving while keeping traffic moving as well. That was the challenge, building this facility while keeping people and commuters moving and getting the job done on time and within the budget.
Thank you. And I just want to add that when I came into office, there was a lot of fights going on about this bridge. And people were going in different directions. And in the last 4 years, we have seen everyone come together and march in the same direction. And that means that they're more cost-effective because of it, and because of that also they came in 7 months early than projected. So I think there's all kinds of great work that's going on. And so I think that Caltrans has done in general a really great job all over the state of California with how fast they're moving with the projects and how efficient they have been operating. Yes, any other question, please?
Governor,
please.
Claudine Wong with KTVU. Actually, I have a salmon question for you. Fishermen, given that issue, have said what has led to the depletion of salmon is mismanagement of water. Can you respond to that?
Well, first of all, let me just say that the salmon situation is very unfortunate, and this is why we have declared a state of emergency in this state, and we have also requested from the Bush administration to declare a federal fishery disaster so that we can draw federal money. We also have, signed a bill, Senate Bill 562, which provides $5.3 million from Proposition 84 money. I've also instructed our Department of Finance to reimburse the fishermen and women of the fishing fees, the permits that they've paid for. They should get reimbursed that. So we are trying everything that we can in order to work together, because we are very much aware of the fact that this is a big burden and a big hit to our economy, several hundreds of millions of dollars. And so if the state and the federal government work together, I think that we can help everybody. You got to use a mic, please. We have one right there.
Have fishermen actually approached you personally and said they're going to be put out of business by this?
Hold the mic closer to your mouth.
Oh, I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
Learning from the professional. Have fishermen, are they actually saying they're going to be put out of business by this closure of the season?
No, we are trying, like I said, to do everything to help them financially, and through our state of emergency and through the national fishery disaster declaration that we're asking the Bush administration. I think that we can assist financially and really get them through these difficult times. Anything else? Well, thank you very much. Now let's get to the action and start doing some welding here.